Okay, I try to make a video with a complete list of all my existing videos in the description. YouTube told me the description was too long. So I'm going to quickly go through from the oldest one to the newest one as quick as I can, and these are in order from the oldest to the newest to let you know what ones are there if you haven't really looked, because some of them may interest you. So, Solar Watch, Guns N' Oz, Hot Water for Dishes, Clothes Drying, Flying Insect Solutions, Fruit Picker, Hopper Gets the Chop, Kangaroo Myths and Reality, LED Sensor Light, Message to Macho Males Considering Off-Grid Living, My Stove Collection, Overhead Tank 1, 2 and 3, Solar Fridge, What It's Like to Live Off-Grid, Polycrystalline, which is a picture of polycrystalline panel, yet another shower, old school water heating, washing, pre-cooling for limited refrigeration, propane freezer, propane fridge, small generator, solar pump, when the grid goes down, Warrnambool 1 and 2, when the grid goes down, regular power outages, when the grid goes down, diesel shortage, US dollar problems, solar hot water 1 and 2, cooling 1 and 2, rabbit 1, 2 and 3, which is me butchering a rabbit, all about roadkillers meat, inverters 1, 2 and 3, solar explained in under 5 minutes, which is a fantastic one to get you on the road quickly with solar systems, strange air conditioning systems, things at the RV and mobile home show that I went to a while ago, why I live off grid and the stages of advancement from my early days to further on, Dangerous Santa, which is basically showing how spin doctors work. Country living, myth versus reality, rainwater 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, emotional aspects of moving off grid, quality of life versus cost, green country grass is another myth, or at least in Australia it is, living without a fridge 1 and 2, heating, that's a couple that actually wiped, I should take it out. Letterbox, Joanne Lees, if you're British or Australian you know who she is still, but her boyfriend's a was. The house after my uncle died, wasting money to save money, battery tech 1, 2 and 3, financial thoughts 1 and 2, which I go through a bit of the stuff about my uncle's bankruptcy, I think. Wood cutting 1 and 2, tools and the common myths and time savers. American Hillbillies versus Australian Hillbillies, welfare mentality tactics, Boomer Nurseries, that's the nursery I used to be at. Sealed lead acid batteries shown, get to see what they really look like when you, and they're not so sealed after all. Display on charge controller, which is the one for my solar fridge. Benefits of a display on charge controller. Blackberry foraging, grid feed solar and Oz, free your mind, bottom trapped 1, 2 and 3, smart ways to clean out hoarders' houses, mini Chinese dozer, how to tell if a house is off grid, how much stuff you or your devices use. This is not just wattage, it's water usage and everything. It's another one I should scrap, which is one I'm not reading out. Gene Payne compost heating, hot water from compost, setting things up intelligently, lighten a flint fire the cheats way and then lighten it properly with a tea bag. What happens to dump cats? That cat actually turned out to be a neighbour's cat. Very odd but simple solar cooker. Why governments are in so much debt and wasted taxes. Vacuum cleaner suitable for solar. Succession, what it is and how it works. When there was talk about Texas seceding and a number of other states, a lot of Americans aren't really familiar with it. We are over here. Water quality grades and what they can be used for, comparing living in the 1800s to living off-grid, things to do before going off-grid, simple American economic recovery plan, tariffs are the way to go. I know you guys love capitalism, but tariffs have done so much for this country. I don't like subsidies, but I do like tariffs. Off-grid option you never thought of, which is being in a boat. How to solder properly, which is a good one. You should always learn to solder if you want to get right into solar equipment. What's stalking your property and how to tell? Making assets in hard currency from seemingly nothing. What counting, which is a fantastic one. I can just about name the wattage draw on any device you want to talk about. And so I'll go through a few of them there and what the general consumption of most things are and how to basically add it up to see if it will run out of your inverter or your generator. How my uncle lived off-grid, wood heater potatoes, when will a collapse come, economic collapse. Can I use an IBC as a water tank? How to turn an IBC into a water tank. Financially polar family, which is a bit about different members of my family and how they handle money. Identifying the system and leaving it, what it means when cows won't shut up, free stuff from old campsites, LED lights, what's what, living without electricity, basic multimeter use, which is a very good one for those of you who want to get into solar stuff. Am I a prepper? Well, no, but I do stockpile, but I've got a video that says that. Why there will be a collapse or crisis in the States, United States. 12-volt or mains for solar, what's best? Understanding financial enslavement when young, which is a good one for you young people. If things are going bad for you, which is a good one for you losing your job, or about to. Living without money, what do I miss about not being on the grid? Air conditioning, good air conditioning. Don't waste that old wax. Are Aussies tough or is it a myth? When the grid goes down, water problems in the drought. Aussie attitude to country living. 2 useful cheap things for off-grid living. Who lends to the US and why Chinese stuff is so cheap? Preppers and their motivations. Is it realistic to live self-sufficiently? Camping area books. Trick to understanding generator load. Convection and action. The way sheep think. Plant growing advice based on my experience. What to collect or hoard before you go off-grid. How not to buy the wrong things when setting up off-grid, which is a good one for you thinking of doing it. My arm's getting sore. Strange justifications from on-gridders. Yearly things sheep need. Dehydrated food and how I use it. 10-hour cordless fan. Koala sign. Cordless equipment for off-grid. Humane rabbit trap. Crazy things about product image. Water tank with enclosed electric pump. Lithium-ion or lithium polymer battery banks. Live straw, an amazing super filter. I carry one of those in my car. Highly recommended. Mains LED lights sold everywhere now. 2 years off the grid. I'll talk about looking back on the 2 years I've been off the grid. Big stretch in the capital CBD is a big Chrysler 300C. Chinese credit crunch. Basic electrics for the clueless. The book I gave, Techman 2015, Troy as you may know him, propane coffee maker and 12-volt kettle, house eating bugs, which is a good one if you're thinking of buying a old country house or an old cabin. It's really worth watching that one so you don't buy a dud. Wind belts, camping washing machines, my parents' new caravan or trailer home, different bonfire videos, the burn videos, financial denial, solar rig in roadside automated signs. Canadian plastic money is counterfeitable because we are the ones who developed polymer money, and yeah, it's been happening here. Counterfeiting. Handling large fires, secret prototype I'm building, propane car differences, about going and living in the country, 1 and 2, why have a tractor, very old remnants around my place, downgrading isn't that bad at all, most of it is just worry in your own mind, wood gas stove, currency help, can't remember what that is. What chance does USA have against China? Oh, I got that wrong. What chance does USA have against China, and would a gold currency help? Flaming word wrap around, that's what it was. Off-grid living, everything exists and it is cheap. Low expected living standards helps China. Mix and gain more knowledge and power. Don't be afraid to move outside your social group to ask a few questions to learn more stuff, because those who stay inside their social group, like a few preppers I come across are a little bit, could have learned a lot more if they had it mixed. Lithium battery off-grid homestead, which was one I surmised might exist, and it turned out it had already been built before I even theorised it. Grid-centric mentality and off-grid countries, homemade pin-fin heat transfer technology, tree-killing myth, how to stay afloat when China dominates, being in business, what I learnt, which is a good one if you're ever thinking of going into business, fresh bread with no fridge, gasoline or petrol lantern, gasoline or petrol stove, an advanced way of making pin-fin, real 12 volt and 24 volt air conditioners. These are compressor ones I'm talking about, not evaporative ones. They use them in truck sleeper cabs. Proper water transport tank, which I've got at my house. Free barbecues, the second best thing the local government ever done. My refrigeration journey. Cooling towel. Drying clothes in Oz and my hillbilly version. For some reason I must have missed the other one, which is the best thing the local government ever done, which is plantations. Hardwood plantations that you can go into for firewood around here that are government owned. You get your little permit and you go and chop out whatever you want. Yeah, cooling tower, drying clothes in Oz and my hillbilly version. Don't buy stored second-hand compressor car fridges. Solar fridge performance during winter. Electronic gadgets off the grid. My internet connection. Electric shaver hack for off-grid use. Understanding physics and avoiding stupid mistakes. My gosh, there's some people who need to do a bit more reading on physics and understanding. How low can you go? 1, no money is not the real problem. 1, the more difficult things to set up off-grid. Outside looking in, me seeing a power outage. Real case, self-sufficiency during economic collapse, according to one of my relatives. That is my video list so far. My gosh, I've got a lot of videos. But anyway, if you are interested, that was read from the oldest to the newest.